The 2019 Nepean Triathlon is done and dusted. It was yet another wonderful edition of this long-standing and special event. So a big thank you and a congratulations to Chris Joseph and all those involved in making the Nepean Triathlon such a great event. This year it was round 3 of the Sydney Triathlon Interclub Series. So let's just have a very quick look at what happened.
We'll start with a quick look into the Sydney Triathlon Premier League, where it was Hills. They came out on top with 25 points and a well-earned max out. The Red Army now slightly increased their lead on top of the ladder. It was Panthers who came second. Panthers won here last year and have a great relationship with the race. They walked away with 22.5 out of a possible 25, so great effort by them to take second. Third was a tie between the Balance Bolt and MacArthur. Both picked up 17.5 well-earned points. 16.5 points was what the Sydney Tri Giants collected. A terrific effort by them. Cronulla Sharks on 13 and Balmoral Purple Thunder rounding out the group with 10.5. So what does that mean for the overall leaderboard? Well, it means that Hills slightly extend their lead on top. They have a 19-point gap back to Panthers, with Balmoral Purple Thunder in third. They slipped down slightly after Nepean. MacArthur and Sydney Tri Giants are in the middle of the pack, with Cronulla Sharks in 6th and Balance Bolt in 7th. Now, 2nd to 7th are covered by just 13.5 points, which shows just how close it is at this early stage of the season. Round 4 is Kernell. It is K1. It is the first of the 2 Kernells on the calendar, and it promises to be a fantastic race. What I'd expect to happen is I think you'll see some of the Eastern clubs start to make their move up the leaderboard now, mainly the Cronulla Sharks, but also the Sydney Tri Giants. So well done to Hills for their efforts at Nepean and for being on top of the leaderboard. Kernell promises to be a fantastic event, and it will really start to shape the year ahead for all 7 clubs. So if you haven't entered, you've got less than a month to do so get in now. We'll turn our attention now to the Sydney Triathlon League 1, where there was absolutely no stopping the Warringah Waves this past weekend at Nepean. They were in seriously good form to walk away with 16 points and shoot up the leaderboard overall. Second on the day was Concord. They continue their great start to the year and continue to impress everyone, and they remain on top of the leaderboard for now. Third was the Bondi Brats, with Engadine Dingoes in 4th. The Australian Chinese Dragons were in 5th. They dropped down the leaderboard slightly. Brighton Polar Bears 6th, and it was the Coogee Comets in 7th with just half a point. It's been a slow start for Coogee this year, but with Kernell 1 and Kernell 2 as the next 2 events on the calendar, I think we'll see them shoot up pretty quickly. So overall, it's still Concord who lead. They've got about a 5.5 point gap to the Warringah Waves, who really move up after a fantastic performance at Nepean. The Australian Chinese Dragons, they're in the hunt. They stay in 3rd, with Bondi Brats in 4th. Brighton Polar Bears are 5th. Engadine Dingoes, they got their first points of the season at Nepean and moving to 6th. And the Coogee Comets are 7th. But as I say, Kernell 1 up next. It's going to be a really interesting event to see what effect it does have on the leaderboard. You would think that the likes of Coogee and Engadine and Brats might move up, but we'll see. Warringah are in great form. Concord have impressed all season long, so who knows what's going to happen next. And finally, we'll have a quick look at the Sydney Triathlon League 2, where so far this season, it's been all about Pulse and the Eastern Suburb Swans, but not at Nepean. Yes, the Swans and Pulse were in fantastic form again, but this time it was the Northern Suburb Mighty Mites who came out on top and taking home the Nepean Triathlon event victory with 12 points. Pulse and Eastern Suburb Swans, they tied for second on 10.5, and it was a newcomer. Debut points for the Line Island Lions. They took home 9 to finish 4th. The Phil Oz Eagles were 5th. LAPD Lightning 6th on 5.5. And the T4 North Bondi Tritons also got their season off to a start with 3 precious points to round out the group. So after Nepean, Pulse still stay on top of the ladder with 35 points. They've got a 4-point gap to the Eastern Suburb Swans. The Northern Suburb Mighty Mites, they now solidify their third spot after a great victory this past weekend. Phil Oz Eagles, they're still in the mix in fourth. Lion Island Lions, they're fifth after their debut strong performance. The Lightning of LAPD, they're sixth. And T4 North Bondi Tritons. They're on the foot of the ladder at the moment, but they'll be happy to get their season off to a start. So it's Kernel next, K1. Just under a month until that, so make sure you get your entries in ASAP. It's going to be a great event, and one where you might think that Eastern Suburb Swans could put in a performance to overtake Pulse on top of the ladder, but we'll have to wait and see.